What if I told you there was a native fruit in your woods that you didn't know about? Hey everybody, I'm going to make a video today about the almost unknown pawpaw tree. It's PAW. It's a fruit tree that grows native here in the eastern half, basically, of the United States. And here in central North Carolina, they're everywhere along the stream banks, creek banks, rivers, and that sort of thing. So I'm in my super secret stash in the woods for these pawpaw fruit. And this is where I've collected over 100 fruit in the last 2 days and planting them on my property. So it's kind of a low germination seed. You're supposed to stratify it, which means let it survive winter, basically. And there's ways to do that in the fridge, but I'm just going to plant them. And here is a pawpaw. These are not ripe. I'm going to leave those on the tree, kind of give them a squeeze. They're kind of, that little one's kind of getting good. They get big, they have small ones. So you see the leaf here. If you don't know trees, then I'll explain it to you kind of what makes sense. It kind of is between a buckeye and a hickory, kind of look to the leaf structure. If you are into trees, you already know what it is, so I'm not going to explain it with the regular taxonomical values that they kind of display. But yeah, so here's the pawpaw grove. It's not a big tree, it's an understory tree. They like shade. You can see if you look up, there's some big hickories and oaks and some different things around me. But they are not a big tree. I think a big one would be about 30 feet tall, a monster one. But yeah, these have the fruit on them, these little guys. So I spent a lot of time when I was learning about it looking for a big tree before I realized there are no big pawpaw trees. And this is the time of year, September. You gotta be quick because everything in the woods eats this thing. The fruit is somewhat between a banana, a mango, kind of with the kind of a texture of an avocado. When they're really ripe, they're a little bit even mushier than that. You just gotta try them. They've been out here in the woods, and most people don't even know they're here. But let's go see if we can find a ripe one. Okay, so I'm in amongst the trees here. These are little trees. You can see it's a very small caliper tree. But here's a fruit. See this guy? That came off pretty easy. It's not quite right. But I plucked it on accident, so I'm going to keep it and we're going to plant that sucker. But look down here. See those guys? See the black spots? That's kind of an indication they're getting good and they want to, oh yeah, have a little give to them. So you kind of squeeze it. See, it's kind of mushy. The mushier the better. I'm having trouble finding a really good ripe one. These are still good enough to eat, but when they're just soppy, sloppy, that's the ones you want. So there's fruit in all these trees. I come right here. These are kind of some smaller ones, but fruit nonetheless. When you get lucky, you find one of those big monster, I call them tree potatoes, and they're just barely hanging onto the tree. They'll fall right off if you touch the tree or touch the fruit. Keep looking here. Okay, I think I may have found one. So here at eye level, look at that guy. Oh man. Oh, dropped it. We hit the jackpot. Look at that thing. You see how my thumb pushes into it? Leaves a dent. That's what you're after right there. That's a big fruit. I'm going to eat this thing. Alright, so here we are. Got the pawpaw. I'm telling you, if you're not looking for it, you're just not going to see this fruit. They just blend right in. When they hit the ground, they won't be there long. Everything in the forest eats these things. So there's a lot of different ways to eat it. I like to just split the skin. And if you have a spoon, that can be easy, but just look at that. It's like pudding. You can do it a couple different ways. There's the, if I had a spoon, I could do this civilized, but I didn't bring a spoon. I was just in the area, thought I'd do this video, so here we go. That's good. Now, there's some really big seeds in here. So you just chew the pawpaw up, spit the seed out. So I just squeeze the fruit out of it, bite it, knowing there's a big seed in there, just kind of get the juice off of it and spit the seed out. It's really good. It's really sweet, really custardy. You can see how sloppy it is. They don't do well in transit, so you don't find these in stores unless you have a small co-op or something, but they're really good. If you're a hunter like me, you've probably seen coyote, fox, raccoon, scat, all those little animals. There'll be the certain time of year you'll see the scat that has all the big black kidney bean shaped looking things in it. And wondering what that is, that's a pawpaw seed. Kind of see that one there. I'll break open one here that's not ripe because you can get the seeds out real easy. Everything eats these. No one talks about it. No one knows what these things are, except for me and now you. So if you live near a creek or a river, just go out and start walking. Find this little tree, find a little grove. I guarantee you they'll be there. Pawpaw fruit. And they're good. Now, some groves don't have any fruit. I got another place I had found earlier in the summer. It was a patch about as big as a football field, and I came back all excited. Not one fruit. I shook every tree in the place. Big trees, little trees, the whole thing, not one fruit. So there's probably no cross-pollination there. It could be all one organism with the same root structure. In any case, you're not guaranteed fruit out of the pawpaws, but if you keep finding pawpaws, you're going to find fruit. And these things, I'm telling you, these things are everywhere. You've just been ignoring them. For those that know about them, it's good. For those that don't, you're missing out. So that's the pawpaw seed. You've seen that in animal scat, and you've always wondered what it is. And if you're a subscriber or a viewer, now you know. So you can see how mealy it is when it's not ripe. It's not good. You gotta let it get ripe. So this is one of my secret spots that I go to harvest these things. And I picked 45 pounds in about 20 minutes over the last 2 days. Each trip I was here for about 10 minutes and took about 20-25 pounds each trip. So, and like I say, I've planted every one of those on my property. Just let nature take its course. There's a couple different ways to do that, but I'm just, I don't have the time, and I can't eat 45 pounds of pawpaw to get the seeds out. So I'm just throwing the whole fruit, dig a small hole, kind of pull the soil back, throw the whole fruit in there, smash it up, put the soil back on it. And there's about 15 seeds per fruit. So even with the low germination rate, I'm hoping some of those will take off. My property doesn't have any. I've seen them on the other side of the creek. Unfortunately, I don't have them yet on the new property. So this is part of a vegetative propagation project that I'm going to do here. I'm also looking to do some persimmons, some apples. We're going to have a little orchard. I've got some muscadines and that sort of thing. Maybe put up a chestnut grove somewhere, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, that's what you're looking for. Pawpaw grove, little pawpaw patch, whatever you want to call it. Get out there, go find you some pawpaws, eat up. George Washington's favorite fruit, Thomas Jefferson had him at Monticello. It's called an Indian banana. Those guys were eating them. Everything's eating it. It's like civilization forgot about it. Go out and find some Paw Paws.